Good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you to the 2022 JISD Graduation. Now, we do things a little bit different here at Jonesboro ISD. So I want to make sure that these coaches over here standing there talking. Now, y'all can stand up. I'm gonna put y'all to work. Come over here. Y'all my curtain boys here. All right? So, not Chief Coach Massey, you said we have respect for the elders. Anyway, we do things a little bit different here. We're going to get this thing started. A lot of people come in with pomp and circumstance, but that's not what we do here. We make this a true celebration. The kids select this music. So what we're going to do now, we are going to make some noise and have a little fun. And Mr. Massingale is going to cue the music up. And if you are able and you're willing, I want you to get on your feet. And I want you to make some noise for your 2022 All right, so we can do better than that. Our first graduate today is Miss Taylor Marie Hayden. Next on our list, we have Mr. Layton Neal Blanchard. Coming out strong as stuff, Mr. Dawson Blankenship. Next up, we have Mr. Zachary David Chapman. Coming out, dancing down the aisles, Mr. Judah Boyd Fisher. Next on our list, we have Mr. Matthias Patrick Hilliker. None other than Vanilla Ice himself, Mr. Dalton Sean Kennedy. Next up, we have Miss Haley Martina Ann Kruger. Coming out, the individual state champ for golf this year, Jeffrey Kyle Morris. They call this guy the captain, Logan P. Necessary. Next up we have Mr. Dakota James Riley. The always stylish Mr. or Miss Amelia Lauren Salmon. Next on the list. Oh my goodness, I messed up on one. I apologize. We're going to backtrack. I skipped over one. Let's welcome out Miss Callie Rain Greason Deason. How could I miss her after all the years? Next on the list, we have Mr. Ian Payne Jones. Coming out struggling stuff now, we have Miss Katie Lachey Snuddy. Mr. Hunter Max Crawfish Thompson. This is the guy you've seen rumbling and bumbling and stumbling in the field before. Mr. Juan Manuel Torres. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Jimmy Lee Frankham Wiley. One more time, let's give it up for your 2022 Jonesboro JISD Graduation. If you would, please remain standing and join us in a word of prayer led by Mr. Jimmy Lee Frankenwine.
Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Hello, everyone. Will you bow your heads with me for a word of prayer before we get started today? Father God, we thank you for gathering us as a community to celebrate this milestone in our children's lives. I thank you for the families in our love in this space tonight, Lord. Just the joy you've allowed into our lives here this afternoon. The memories that will never leave us, and the hundreds of ones we made, Lord, by your glory, our God, by your holy and loving love. We've been brought to emerge into this world and grow into strong followers of you, like walkers of faith, Lord, faith in you. Father, you've opened the door into our life, and now I pray you give us the strength not to walk, but run as fast as we can through that door. And I pray that patience never slows, but patience, Father, until Pastor is an option. Father, we pray tonight for your protection, your guidance, and your love in the times ahead. Send everybody home safe tonight. In your son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. Before I ask Ms. Bynum up to the stage to give the welcome, just a couple of reminders. We ask everybody to turn your cell phones to silence, please, so as not to detract or take away from the ceremony this evening. Also, turn your children to silence as well. Appreciate that. And see how that works in the school environment. I do publicly apologize to my girl, the princess of TikTok, Miss Kylie Deason. That was my fault. You're getting older, Kylie, getting older, so I apologize for that. But anyway, thank you everybody for being here. We apologize for the temperature. We had, thank God for the rains the other night, but whenever we had a storm come through, it blew a transformer out. Keith Necessary, the greatest maintenance guy, just general guy in the world, as Brian, they come up and work tirelessly on it. We got it going this morning, but it just takes a little bit to cool this gym off. So with all the bodies in here and stuff, I apologize for getting a little bit warm this year, but we'll make it through and it'll be okay. So with that said, thank you for being in attendance tonight. Now I'll bring Ms. Brown up to the stage.
I can see what I feel with. Welcome, proud parents, family, faculty, staff, and friends. Thank you for being here for this glorious day, and welcome and congratulations to the class of 2022. My name is Kendra Byram, and I'm the principal of Jonesboro ISD. I want to start out by recognizing our faculty and staff and school board. Without each of you, this graduation would not be possible. I want to give a special thank you to Keith Necessary. Even though the air conditioner is not cooling off just yet, it would be a lot worse in here if it was not for him. They've been working tirelessly trying to get this all up and running. I want to thank the class of 2022. You've been through some trials and tribulations during your high school career. Through learning online, no lockers last year, epic snow days, wins and losses, this class has never stopped smiling. Y'all are a fun-loving group, and we'll miss each and every one of you next year. At this time, I'd like to ask Kylie Deason to come to the stage and give the class welcome.
On behalf of my classmates, it is my honor to thank you all for joining us here tonight. Everyone, you have made an impact on the graduates who sit here today. Your support over our 13 years of school is immeasurable, and we will never be able to repay you. To my class, over the years we have suffered a few bumps and bruises, but we have always stuck together, and I know that we always will. To our family, friends, and Jonesboro ISD staff, from the very beginning, y'all have been here for us no matter what. From little dribblers and pee-wee football to playoff games, we always know that we can look into the stands and find the people that truly love and support us. Even when Coach Massengill is screaming the wrong way. You've always been there for us, and just know that we wouldn't be walking this stage today without you all in our lives. Graduation is a time to reflect on the work we have put in so far and dream about what is to come of our futures. And we know that you will always be there rooting us on every step of the way. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our Heavenly Father, whose presence is always with us and whose love and grace is immeasurable. We know that without Him, we are nothing. With that said, it is my honor to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the Jonesboro Fighting Eagle class of 2022. Please welcome Logan Necessary to the stage.
Out of our graduating class, only 2 students have attended Jonesboro ISD since kindergarten, and I'd like to introduce one of them to you. She is also one of the most competitive people I know. I kid you not, she refuses to lose even at slapjacks. I had the bloody knuckles to prove it. Even with her competitive nature, she is the most kind-hearted person I know. She gives her time and effort to the life skills program and enjoys every second of it. She has been an outstanding athlete and shines at basketball. She is a true Eagle. I'm honored to introduce our 2022 salutatorian, Katie Snyder.
Fellow classmates, today is, up to this point, one of the most important days in all of our lives. Today we come together, as we have so many times before, to celebrate more than a decade of long, hard years of learning. We are surrounded by all of the people who have taught us, inspired us throughout our lives. Parents, family members, teachers, you've all been instrumental in our education and helped develop us into the individuals that we are today. As we close this chapter in our life and open a new one, we will carry with us not only the wisdom of our education, but also the life lessons each of you taught us. Tonight, I would like to share with my fellow classmates, my most cherished lessons that I have learned at this point in my life. I hope that these lessons will maybe come into use one day down the road. I was excited to be given the honor as your 2022 salutatorian. This is an honor that I feel I have worked very hard for and stayed up countless nights so that I could make grade marks high enough to be standing before you today. However, none of my studies prepared me for this moment. Writing this speech was probably one of the hardest, most difficult things I've ever done. I experienced the worst case of writer's block I've ever had. I couldn't find the words to express everything I wanted to say today. And as most of y'all know, speechless moments for me are very uncommon. This brings me to my first lesson. Use your resources and surround yourself with people who are smarter than you. This world we are stepping into is so much more advanced than it was generations before us. We have calculators in our pockets. We have access to translators to speak different languages. We have methods of measurement, knowledge, financing, and investing and research within a tap of our cell phones. Did you know that you can buy speeches online? I didn't buy this one online. But it should be noted that our resources are endless. I wouldn't be where I am today without people who are smarter than me, people who have taught me, guided me, and didn't give up on me. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And don't be too proud to think that you can't learn. Life, I have found, is nothing more than a big lesson. Lesson number 2, if you're not first, you're last. If I've learned anything, it's that sometimes to be successful, you have to not be afraid to stray from the crowd. If you always follow the crowd and take the easy way to success, you'll never be first. You'll always be second best. Motivational speaker Les Brown says, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. And if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. My hope is that each and every one here finds success in life, that we become leaders, motivators, and the inspiration that other people need in their lives. Dare to be great, dare to be first, leave second best for those who aren't brave enough to take on the world. Lesson number 3, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Life is going to hit us in the coming weeks and months at full speed. We will be presented with social media, fake news, false prophets, fake friends, and a world that wants to use and manipulate us. My fellow classmates, be wary of what the world is going to throw at us. Not everything is as pretty and straight as it seems. I hope that we will all learn to think for ourselves and form our own opinions of this world. In matter of relationships, occupations, and life in general, don't be afraid to think for yourself, but be cautious of the wolf in sheep's clothing. People and moments in life aren't always what they seem. The great playwright Bernard Shaw put it best when he said, beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. Lesson number 4, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's a hard lesson to learn, but in this world, the more people you know, the better your chances are at success. Learn to network, make strong relationships, and learn to never judge people based upon their outward appearance. Research performed by LinkedIn found that over 70% of people who get jobs are hired because they already know people who work for or are high up in a business. Don't take relationships and connections for granted. You never know when someone from your past may be your ace in the hole one day. Lesson number 5 is learn to be accountable. It is going to be a harsh reality for many of us, but there's not going to be anyone there to wake us up and tell us to go to school anymore. Teachers won't remind us to turn in our work. Coaches will no longer give us rides when we can't find one. And second chances to make a good impression won't be handed out like they have been every year up to this point. Likewise, bills will now be our responsibility. We will be on our own for transportation to and from school or work. Failure to meet deadlines or behave appropriately will have life-altering consequences, and the expectation for us to transition from a kid to an adult will happen literally overnight. Thank you to all my teachers, parents, administrators, and friends who have taught me to be accountable. Last but not least, school has taught me to cherish the moment. If I could have one wish for all of us, it is that we will learn to cherish and live in the moment. We've spent the last 13 years of our lives together. We've had good times and bad times. We've had fights, arguments, and moments of love and compassion. We've held each other up in times of need and supported each other through both struggles and accomplishments. I'm thankful for the lessons each and every one here has taught me throughout my life. I'm thankful for the opportunities that I was given to be successful and compete as both a student and as an athlete. And as we close this chapter in our lives, let's appreciate all that we've been blessed with. I hope that life gives each and every one of you, my fellow graduates, many more memories that we can cherish for our lifetime. Welcome, Zach Chapman.
I would like to introduce our valedictorian, Judah Fincher. Judah was homeschooled until he came to join program. Judah is kind and smart person that the class has grown to like. He is known for being kind of a geek in class because of the amount of computer knowledge that he has. Judah is one of my best friends. He is really reliable person that I learned to grow for advice because he will tell me what he thinks. Judah plans to get his certifications and become get a field in technology. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome valedictorian Judah Fincher.
When I started writing this speech, I didn't know where to start, so I did what anyone would do. I Googled it. And what came up were some steps on how to write or make your valedictorian speech, quote, magical. So, step 1, whatever you do not talk about Webster's dictionary. So I give you the Oxford Dictionary's definition of valedictorian. The student who has the highest grades in a particular group of students and who gives the valedictory speech at a graduation ceremony. Step 1, complete. Step 2, talk about what you learned over the years in my valedictorian speech. For this one, let's go on a little journey back to my 8th grade year. It was my very first day. I had been homeschooled for my entire life, and my first period class was gym. So I go to school in my gym clothes so that I can just change into my normal clothes afterwards. And we do the workout, we get really sweaty. I go up to change. Well, at that time, I was very uncomfortable with changing in front of anyone. So I decided it's a smart idea to get changed in a locker. Well, some of you may be thinking, how did he fit? Well, I was smaller at the time, I did fit, and there was a hook digging in the back of my head. I did get changed though, but as I was getting ready to step out, the door was jammed. I was stuck. So eventually the bell rings, and I push, and I push, and eventually I opened up the door, and I was in fact late to my second period class, which was Keeler's class. So the moral of the story is, don't change inside of the locker, it's dumb. And definitely don't tell anyone, you will get bullied. Step 2, complete. Step 3, make a few jokes. Knock knock. Weekend. We can do anything we want now that we're graduated. Not quite done yet. Step 4, inspire your fellow students. Fellow students, here's an inspirational quote. If life gives you lemons, make apple juice and make people wonder how the heck you did it. By your batch, some foreign dude. Step 4, complete. Step 5, use quotes. Step 6, keep it short and sweet. Check. Step 7, speak to other students. How's it going, Jenny? Yeah? You think I've completed step 7? Thank you. Step 8, make your most important points and final, and thank people. So, thank you to the faculty for giving me this opportunity, and thank you to my friends and family who have supported me along the way. Leaving the past behind is hard, especially when the school walls are all we have known for almost as long as we can remember. But it is necessary. We have been told so many times that will miss high school. And while I do not think that they are incorrect, I believe it is a feeling that must be fought against. High school was hopefully a great part of our lives, but wanting to go back to how things were is no way to go through life. If we don't leave the past, we will not be able to fully focus or enjoy what the future brings. We will not be able to appreciate the multitude of new options as young adults. If we spend our time wishing for the simplicity of high school because of the new responsibilities a young adult brings. That last point had to be serious. It needed to be so serious, in fact, that was a portion of my sister's last year valedictorian speech. At this time, I would like to ask Dakota Riley to the stage.
Good evening. I'm a student of the graduating class of 2022, Dakota Riley. I had the opportunity to welcome our guest speaker, and I would like to explain why we chose this amazing individual. She is one of the reasons, even on the bad days, we were able to make it this far. She is our own trip into the world of science. I would like to welcome our little Miss Grizzle. She is our very own guest speaker, Miss Leah Gardner.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to say good evening to all the families, friends, colleagues, students, and to the graduating class of 2022. I'd also like to express gratitude for being asked to be the speaker for this class. Today, May 27th, is a day of excitement,
in anticipation for the next step in the lives of these graduating students, as well as the families, I'm sure. We are all here to bid farewell to these students after successfully completing all 12 years of school, and I welcome you all to this ceremony. Most of these students and I met back during their 7th grade year when I was working here as just an aide. They had a class in the computer lab, and all I had to do was make sure they were completing assignments on their computers. Honestly, I don't remember a whole lot from that time, but what I do remember was how Dakota Riley quite literally hacked the program that had their assignments and was able to make it look like he had completed them. I was furious at the time, but now that I look back, I'm actually impressed by it. He was too smart for his own good. Last year, most of them had me for chemistry, and it was my first year teaching high school science as well as that age group in general. It was the school year after the big pandemic shut us down, and it was such a strange year for all of us. What with the occasional quarantines and having to eat lunch in the classrooms, they did give me a lot of grace and were patient with me as they were my guinea pigs for that particular class. We didn't really have any labs that year except for one which involved Chex Mix, which was great because free food, right? We at least got to have some fun with that. I still have the image of poor Leighton Blanchard not having a desk that accommodated his height. I would ask him about getting him a desk with a separate chair, and he'd say something like, "Nah, I'm used to it." This year, as seniors, they were able to choose what science credit they wanted, and several of them decided to take physics with me. It's a difficult class, so I completely understand that it's not for everyone. For the most part, they worked so diligently, and they didn't hesitate to ask me questions. I loved seeing the creativity come out when they worked on a project and how their personalities got to shine through. This project was all about different types of motions. So for example, Judah Fincher recorded a 2D video game that he played and narrated. Logan Necessary had a film made with him testing out some armor he'd just gotten. Katie Snoddy involved her own real life events on the day she showed her pig. So I loved seeing the different aspects they chose for their projects. I love looking at that. Also this year there was an anatomy and physiology class open to juniors and seniors, and again, they were my guinea pigs since it was another first for me. And again, they showed me grace and patience. Although she doesn't seem to want to show it, Taylor Adair knows her stuff. Often she would sort of whisper an answer to a question I would pose to the class. I would nod to her, and since the rest of the class didn't hear her, I still waited to see if anyone else knew the answer. Mia Selman has a fascination with one of the slides we looked at under the microscope and would often ask me if we could go in the lab and look at bee heads. Quite frankly, if you saw it, you'd be fascinated too, I promise. Jimmy Lee Watley would often be found acting as a chiropractor to his classmates. I would step out for a moment, come back to a chiropractic session occurring on the classroom floor. That's another one that understates his intelligence. I witnessed plenty of creativity in these classes as well. Judah, Kason Regino, and Zach Chapman completed a project by creating an infomercial that I now have saved on my computer so that I can go back and watch it just because I was so thoroughly entertained by it. Katie paired up with JC Redden, a junior, to create a rap, as in music, complete with costumes that I so wish I had recorded. I know I haven't mentioned everyone here, but you certainly weren't forgotten. So to you seniors, you have made so many memories of your journey up to this point, both good and not so good. How can we know what the good ones are if there aren't any bad ones, right? Like Bob Ross says, you have to have dark in order to show light, just like in life. I hope these are memories that you can look back on fondly, even far into the future, when you're set in your careers or possibly have families of your own. Maybe stories that you can tell your kids and grandkids someday. We're so proud of all of your success and accomplishments you've made through these years in both academics and sports. You have these abilities you've only ever been able to apply to school, but now you have the opportunity to apply them beyond that. I'm excited to see how you'll sharpen your skills, acquire new ones, where they'll take you next, and how you'll use them to overcome the new challenges that you'll face moving forward. The purpose of this part of your life is to build and shape you into young men and women capable of taking on whatever the world throws at you. This is just your foundation. Now you will be building only upwards from this point, going to new levels and new heights. What I pray and hope for each of you is that you all remain or become men and women of integrity. Here's a dictionary definition: the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. So when it comes to doing what's right, don't compromise. Looking at scripture, there's a book, Titus chapter 2, verses 7 through 8. It says, show yourself in all respects to be a model of good works, and in your teaching show integrity, dignity, and sound speech that cannot be condemned, so that an opponent may be put to shame, having nothing evil to say about us. You may or may not think so, but what you say and do influences whoever is around you. On the flip side of that, I know we are all influenced by others as well, so we need to be on our guard with what we allow in our ears, in our minds, in our hearts, in order to maintain that integrity. There's so much beyond this point that can and will trip you up, but be steadfast in your principles. Lower your standards for no one. In addition to integrity, kindness will get you far. Even to the ones you'd rather not show any sort of kindness. It gets your mind off of yourself, helps you practice selflessness and thoughtfulness. You never know how much of a ripple effect you can have on your surroundings. My last prayer and wish for you is that God be your guide as you venture into this new stage of your lives. Seeing as how He's the one that made you and everything else, who better than Him to help you navigate? So class of 2022, I pray the absolute best for you on all of your endeavors. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Now it's time for Ms. Barnett to present scholarships.
Good evening, everybody. This is my first year as counselor, and I'm so excited to be here. But as I've told all the kindergarten parents so many times, truly, thank you for sharing your children with us. We have had a fun year, and praise the Lord, I'm getting my office back and my chair. So I'm a little excited. All right, so we have a few scholarships to give out this evening. We're going to start with the Granny Tot Memorial Scholarship. This year is going to go to Miss Katie Snoddy.
$5,000 away for the next 10 years. So, or if we have a couple of deserving ones, they might get 2 of them in 1 year. But these guys grew up in Jonesboro, Texas. They're integral parts of the community. I'll say this, Jonesboro, in case you don't know the history, Turnersville had always been kind of the dominant football team and 6-man around this area. Jonesboro was the dominant basketball team. Whenever Turnersville shut down in 1968, I believe it was after the 68 year or 67 year, some Turnersville boys come over to Jonesboro. One of those was Larry Pruitt, who ended up being the head coach here for several years. And he got to come play for his brother-in-law, Billy Dyer, who was the head football coach at Jonesboro. Jonesboro at that point had never won a district championship in football. Now, since 1968, we've won 20-some odd or 30-some odd, however, 30-some odd district championships. But until that point, they've never won a district championship in football, and Billy Dyer was the head coach here. So they have a lot of roots. They run deep in this community. They lived here their entire life. They farmed and ranched this community. And so it's my pleasure and honor to award this $5,000 scholarship to Miss Katie Snoddy. Next, we have the John Paul Massengill Scholarship. At one point, I know they used to call this like the Fighting Eagle. John Paul Massengill, Fighting Eagle. John Paul, son of Kenny Massengill and Kim Patterson, our own Matt Massengill's older brother. John Paul was tragically killed in a car accident some years back. He embodied the spirit of the fighting eagle. John Paul was a competitor, and he had the legacy of what I would say bringing out the best in people around him. He had an ultimate fighting spirit. He never gave up. He went to the Marines, served our country, and I would say that this is a very honorable scholarship for anybody to receive. And very, very happy to award 2 of these this evening. I don't know the amounts on them, and that's irrelevant at this point. It may be relevant to the ones who get it, but not to the scholarship itself. It's a very worthy scholarship, and I'm proud to present the first one to Miss Katie Snyder. Our second John Paul Massengill Fighting Eagle Scholarship is awarded to Mr. Ian Schoaf. Finally, I'm going to bring Mr. Barnett up here. I would like to tell you, and this is just for information purposes, the Jonesboro Baptist Church has started a scholarship. It'll be a $4,000 scholarship. It was awarded. This scholarship is available not only to students in high school, but students that are currently enrolled in college. And I'd like to just make note of one of our former graduates who graduated last year, received this year. This scholarship is not just based on academic achievement, but it's in community and church service and in church attendance and being part of that. This year's scholarship for $4,000 will be awarded $1,000 per year for 4 years. Was awarded to Miss Bracy Foote last year, 2021. And then finally, we'll have Miss Barnett come up and award our highest ranking graduate scholarship.
All right, well, this young man, as y'all have already heard tonight, is a very special guy, and we're very proud of him. And so our highest ranking graduate award this year goes to Mr. Judah Fincher. And at this time, we're going to have the seniors.
Up the score. Tough, I ain't never been nothing but tough. All my edges have always been rough, but Jesus loves me anyway. Oh, back home, there ain't nothing wrong with a woman that got a little backbone. Just wait till you taste her kind of love. You want a shy little thing, a pretty little high heel thing, gonna cry if I don't polish up. Tough.
10 feet tall, run like you're bulletproof, and total a car or two. Boy, you're gonna hate this town. Wish you could burn it down. That fire in your eyes is 20 counties wide. But boy, you're gonna love 17. And boy, you'll do some stupid things. You're gonna drive and kiss and throw a punch and grow up way too fast. You're gonna drop the ball, hit the wall, and break some hearts like glass. I know you will, 'cause you're a part of me, and a part of you will always be. A boy, you gonna be so stubborn. You get that from your mother. I already see it now. You weren't built for backing down. Boy, there'll be a small town night. You'll fall for her sky blue eyes. And when she's in your hands, you'll think you're a man and not a boy. She'll make you lose your mind, boy. She'll be every reason why. You're gonna drive and kiss and throw a punch and grow up way too fast. You're gonna drop the ball, hit the wall, and break some hearts like glass. I know you will, 'cause you're a part of me, and a part of you will always be. Heading down south to the land of the pines. I'm thumbing my way into North Carolina, staring up the road and pray to God I see headlights. I made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers. And I'm hoping for Raleigh I can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. From the cold up in New England, I was born to be a fiddler in an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, I pick a banjo now. Oh, North Country winters keep a getting me down. Lost my money playing poker, so I had to leave town. But I ain't turning back to living that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like a...
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some helping heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out,
Looking back now, well, it makes me laugh. We were growing our hair, we were cutting class. Knew it all already, there was nothing to learn. We were striking matches just to watch them burn. Listen to our music just a little too loud. We were hanging in there with the outcast crowd. Head to the rapids with some discount beer. It was a long train trestle, but we had no fear. And man, I don't know where the time goes, but it sure goes fast. Just like that, we were wannabe rebels that didn't have a clue. And our rock and roll t-shirts and our typically bad attitude had no excuses for the things that we've done. We were brave, we were crazy, we were mostly young. Young. Talked a good game when we were out with the guys, but in the back seat we were awkward and shy. Girls were a mystery that we couldn't explain, and I guess there are some things that are never gonna change. And man, I don't know where the time goes, but it sure goes fast.
Mighty long shifts are for working, heavy dreams are for toting around. Let's pretend there's a place to go where I can lay this hacksaw down. And I've been trying all my damnedest to get where kind woman lies. 10 more hours to a 12-long shift till these woods turn to rise. Timber cut so cleanly, Monday morning when the blades are sharp, I get a love song stuck in my head and cuts the chorus till it's dark. If every hour's $14 or a chance closer to her, then I'm not just a working mule, I'm the finest of the herd. And I don't know who she is or if she might exist, but if she does, I swear to love, I'm destined for that kiss. And how's a man get so homesick for a face he's never seen? I close my eyes while sweating and think of boys I could have been. But I know that it's not over, 'cause I can feel her here somewhere, through these trees and melodies that I'm belting to the air. If every hour's $14 or a chance closer to it.
Yo, VIP, let's kick it. Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Alright, stop, collaborate and listen. Ice is back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance, crush the speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly, when I play a dope melody. Anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it, you better gain weight. You better hit bullseye, the kid don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Ice, ice, baby. To the point, no faking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon. Burning them, if you ain't quick and nimble. I go crazy when I hear a cymbal and a hi-hat with a souped up tempo. I'm on a roll, it's time to go solo. Rolling, hit my 5.0 with my rag top.
One day and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, Sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside the darkened door where blues won't haunt you anymore. With a brave heart, free lover's soul, come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate, break down the garden gate. There's not much time left today. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long. If you're going my way, I wanna drive it all night long. Through all these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's all around. I loved you now like I loved you then. This is the road and these are the hills. From Mozambique to those Memphis nights, the Khyber Pass to Vancouver's lights. Knock me down and back up again. You're in my blood, I'm not a lonely man. There's no load I can't hold. The road's so rough, this I know. I'll be there when the light.
In the heart of the Holy See, in the home of Christianity, the seat of power is in danger. There's a foe of 1,000 souls, they've been abandoned by the Lord. The fall from grace will pave their path to damnation. Then the 189 in the service of heaven, they're protecting the holy line. It was 1527, give their lives on the steps to heaven. Thy will be done. For the grace, for the might of our Lord, for the home of the holy, for the faith, for the way of the sword, give their lives so boldly. For the grace, for the might of our Lord, in the name of His glory, for the faith, for the way of the sword, come and tell the story again. On the guard of 42, along the secret avenue, Castel Sant'Angelo is waiting. They're the gods of the Holy See, they're the gods of Christianity. The path through history is paved with salvation. They're the 189 in the service of heaven, they're protecting the holy line. It was 1527, give their lives on the steps to heaven.
If I go 1,000,000 miles away, I'd write a letter each and every day. 'Cause honey, nothing can ever change this love I have for you. Make me weep, and you can make me cry. See me coming, and you can pass me by. But honey, nothing can ever change this love I have for you. Oh, you're the apple of my eye, your cherry pie, and oh, your cake and ice cream, and all your sugar and spice, and everything nice. You're the girl of my dreams. But if you wanted to leave me and roam, when you got back, I'd just say welcome home. 'Cause honey, nothing can do.
We both lie silently still in the dead of the night. Although we both lie close together, we feel miles apart inside. Was it something I said or something I did? Did my words not come out right? Though I tried not to hurt you, though I tried, but I guess that's why they say every rose has its thorn. Just like every night has its dawn. Just like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song.
So you're still thinking of me, just like I know you should. I cannot give you everything, you know I wish I could. I'm so high at the moment, I'm so caught up in this. Yeah, we're just young, dumb, and broke, but we still got love to give while we're young, dumb. Young, dumb, and broke. Young, dumb, dumb, and broke. Young, dumb, dumb, and broke. Young, dumb, broke high school kid. Young, dumb, broke high school kid. We have so much in common. We argue all the time. You always say I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right. What's fun about commitment when we have all life to live? Yeah, we're just young, dumb. Years old, couple cane posts sitting down by the creek. Lines in the water, watching those bobbers, seeing that red sun sink. Mama's on the porch yelling supper's hot, y'all come and get it. We yelled 5 more minutes. At 16 it was 12:03, standing at her front door. Katie's dad said midnight, but we needed just a little more. Yellow light flipping on and off, interrupting that good night kissing. We wanted 5 more minutes. Time rolls by, the clock don't stop. I wish I had a few more drops of the good stuff, the good times. Oh, but they just keep on flying right on by like it ain't nothing. I wish I had me a pause button. Moments like those, Lord knows I'd hit it and give myself 5 more minutes. At 18, turned my helmet in, walked to the 50-yard line. Just the coach and me after we lost 8-10-9. And I cried, man, next time to get in here I'll have to buy a ticket. Can't you give me 5 more minutes?
Oh yeah. Here we are now, everything's about about to change. We face tomorrow as we say goodbye to yesterday. A chapter ending, but the story's only just begun. A page is turning for everyone. So I'm moving on, letting go, holding on to tomorrow. I've always got the memories while I'm finding out who I'm gonna be. We might be apart, but I hope you always know you'll be with me wherever I go. Wherever I go. So excited, I can barely even catch my breath. We have each other to lean on for the road ahead. This happy ending is the start of all our dreams, and I know your heart is with me. So I'm moving on, letting go, holding on to tomorrow. I've always got the memories while I'm finding out who I'm gonna be. We might be apart, but I hope you.
Ain't got time to shoot the breeze, got no time to blow. Excuse me, mister, if you please, I gotta go. Born one morn on the Day of the Dead in a bombed out bungalow. My mama kissed my cheek and said, I gotta go. I gotta go somewhere, I gotta go. Wasting time standing here, I gotta go. They put me in an orphanage west of Tupelo. I told them when I burnt that bridge, I gotta go. Stole a car, got a gun, robbed the hidey-ho. I left Memphis on the run, I gotta go. I gotta go somewhere, I gotta go. Wasting time standing here, I gotta go.
of Jonesboro ISD, I hereby declare that these members of the class of 2022 have fulfilled the requirements set forth by the Texas Education Agency and the Jonesboro ISD to participate in this commencement ceremony. I therefore recommend to Superintendent Matt Dawsey, School Board President Keith Taylor, all other members of the Jonesboro ISD Board of Trustees to present these students with their high school diplomas. Will the first rows of graduates please rise? At this time, I will read the names of the Jonesboro ISD graduating class of 2022 as our Superintendent, Mr. Dawsey, and Board President Keith Taylor present them with their diplomas. First up, Taylor Marie Adair. Leighton Neil Blanchard. Dalton Ray Blankenship. Zachary David Chapman. Kylie Rain Deason. Judah Boaz Fincher. Matthias Patrick Hilliker. Dalton Sean Kennedy. Let's go, Sean! Kaylee Martina Ann Kruger. Jeffrey Kyle Morris. Logan Keith Necessary. Dakota James Riley. Amelia Lauren Selman. Ian Cade Show. Katie Lachey Snoddy. I'm not allowed to call him Prophet. Hunter Max Thompson. Juan Manuel Torres. Jimmy Lee Franklin Watley. Okay. Seniors, you have now completed your high school education and received your diplomas. By the power vested in me by the Superintendent of Jonesboro ISD, the Jonesboro Board of Trustees, and the Texas Education Agency, I declare you graduates of Jonesboro High School. Please signify by advancing your tassels from right to left. At this time, would Nat Hilliker please come lead us in the benediction?
Let me get to my notes real fast. Shut up, Clifford. Will you please bow your heads? Dear God, please put a hedge of protection over everyone while they go on their amazing journey of life. Please just watch over everyone while they inspire people to do what we just did today. And in your heavenly name, amen.
We'd like to bring all of our faculty and staff that are present today just here to wish these guys the best of luck on their endeavors. We're going to have our recessional march now. It's our traditional pomp and circumstance. We ask that you don't move. The graduates are going to congregate right over here. Then after they all get a chance on the recessional to exit, we'll bring them back out in front of the stage so that they can have the traditional cap throw. I've given them instruction. I've given all your children and grandchildren and friends and family instruction not to throw these caps directly at you because the corners are very sharp and I don't want any eyes put out. So, but they're graduates now, so, you know, they might listen and they might not, all right? Nothing's changed after 18 years, right? So anyway, so with that said, we will have our exit march and then we will have our cap throw, and after that we will dismiss you. Again, thank you for everybody being here tonight in attendance. Sorry it's so hot, but we made it through it, so thank you all. Found this out, so before we have our cap throw, we need to do something real quick. It's Jimmy Lee Watley Frankham Watley's birthday today. You're dismissed.